What's up, storytellers? I'm Garlic here, and we're going to talk today about what questions to ask during a video testimonial, aka a video case story or video case study, whatever you want to call it. We'll talk about the questions and how to get better answers for them in this next video. All right, so what questions should you ask? A lot of times people don't ask for a story, and so they're asking testimonial questions and, what was your favorite part, whatever. I see a lot of bad questions, so, I want to go over this, and it's really, really simple. You need to go back to that storytelling format. So let's go with the storytelling format. All right, so we've got the storytelling format here. We've got connection, conflict, and conclusion. So connection, first of all, we want to be asking questions like, who they are, of course, what do they do, how long has this problem been going on, maybe. That kind of gets into the conflict. We also want to ask about where they live, and this is where it's really important to understand who your avatar, your ideal client is in that planning stage. So you can ask questions around that lead to answers that are close to your ideal client. So how are they going to connect? Not only what their job is, what their position is, what their title is. You can ask where they live. If it's important, what kind of car they drive, or do they have a family? Are they married? If these things are relevant. Of course, their name. It's interesting. People will connect with other people because of their name. I've seen this before where someone actually had a case story on their website, one of our clients, and they said, we got a client because our one client had the same name as the case story, and the prospect had the same name as the case story. So people will connect for unusual things. If it's relevant, talk about the things that they love to do. What do they love to do on the weekend? What's important to them? What's a perfect day like to them? And talk about, what their hopes and dreams are, especially if you have a big transformation, right? If you are on weight loss, or you have an e-commerce product that changes people's lives, skincare, talking about those things relevant to them, where how long they've had this, and that's where we lead then into the conflict. Well, when did that problem first arise? When did you know you kind of had a problem? And this comes back to our customer journey map, which you can download down below. But the customer journey map is super powerful because you can think of the questions at those moments. There's times when people don't have a problem, to when they do have a problem, they think they have a problem, they start looking for help. How did they look for help? How did they find you? What were they looking for? And then we talk a little bit about their alibis too. What are their excuses for not moving forward? This happens in the conflict too, because there's conflict within conflict, right? We found someone that might be able to solve our problem, but now the sub-conflict might be, their alibis. What are their excuses for moving forward? What are their beliefs, lack of beliefs in themselves? What was the misinformation that they got? And then what was their fear of moving forward? What were their fears? So then we start to dive into emotions. And this is super, super powerful because we want to be talking about two big things. I talked about it previously in the last video, but always moments and emotions. What was the moment that you did this? What was the emotion that you had? In the next video, I'm going to dive deeper in how to get this out. But those moments and emotions are crucial. And then finally, the conclusion. What was the conclusion like? What happened? When did you know it was over? When did you feel things were starting to get better? What's life like now? Dive deeper into this. So we want to make a list of questions around this, and you want to craft these questions to guide them based on your goals, based on the service, so we can dig deeper into that service, because people aren't going to remember your service as well. So we want to also have guiding questions. If you want to, if you're a Story Cruise Insider and you're watching this, we have a bunch of questions that we use. I think it's a list of about 40 different questions that we use. And we'll talk about how to use those questions in the next video. But if you're not a Story Cruise Insider, you can look down below. You can become a Story Cruise Insider. It's almost free, but it is definitely worth it to have those questions that we've developed over the years, improved on, honed on over 14 years of me asking these types of questions and getting better and better at creating the case stories, and you get to leapfrog it. So in the next video, we're going to talk about how to conduct a great video case story interview. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We're going to be doing lots more of these videos. Make sure to, of course, hit that notification button. And let me know in comments what you thought of this, what your questions are about the questions. All right, let's go learn how to conduct a great interview.